Alright, so I finally got out to the range. The goals today are really just to shoot some higher caliber rifles. I've only been shooting a 300 Blackout suppressed on a pretty big receiver with a long barrel, so I just want to see what happens with higher recoil. I have no idea. So there's going to be a lot of learning today. I'm saying this in retrospect as I learned a lot of very weird things about this system today. I can't wait to get in and debug and figure out what exactly happened, but I hope you enjoy. It's more of a lesson in just not giving up and keeping going. It's a pretty sad showing, honestly. But there we go. We got the first movement, and I'll just talk you through the setup we've got here. So sit back and enjoy. I hope you enjoy the humor. This was a wild day.
Okay, so we just got a laptop. We've got an unmanaged switch, a power supply, and a gun turret. Took the most time was like plugging in that little USB cable. That should have been plugged in, and I should have just had to make a connection like that. And then screwing in that thing. And then also fastening that bolt right there using a speed wrench. All things that are very easy to speed up. You know, all this stuff is very hacky. I really was not going for any kind of speed record here. Someone just asked the question, how long does it take to set up? And about 10 minutes. I think you could get it down to, honestly, like 1 minute if you tried. So yeah, all very easy problems to solve. I'm very happy with that.
Alright, let's shoot some 5.56. There was a little issue with the camera being aligned with the scope, so I couldn't see exactly where I was shooting, so I really just started pulling the trigger. I got a half-second delay built in, so the software is slowing down the fire rate in these clips. Man, someone should really build an automatic reloading system for this thing. Or maybe a belt feed, like you guys are suggesting. We'll see. Let's get the basics worked out first. Alright, so the rifle is jumping around a lot, and I kind of suspected that. This is never going to be a high rate of fire system. It's really for taking long, accurate shots and moving around quickly. So we'll just have to see. Maybe there's some ways to improve this. I'm not sure.
Alright, had a little bit of a snag. I forgot the adapter for this camera, so this cable does not plug into that. Really simple problem. I'm just going to show you how to fix it in the field. You just need a little snipper and some electrical tape, and it might work. I don't know. It'd be nice to have some solder, but I don't have any. So we're either going to call it quits here, or I'm going to splice these wires together. The cool thing about USB is it's just 4 wires, black to black, green, green, white, white, red, red. And it should work. It's not extremely high speed, so I'm not too worried about signal interference. But without this, we are going nowhere, so I'll check back with you, see if we got this working. Alright, splice is going well. I've stripped back the wires, haven't cut any insulation that I shouldn't have. So this is how I like to work. I give myself about 2 inches, and then I peel back the shield, so I'll connect the shield grounds here. I'll twist all these into the bundle, and then I'll just go red, red, black, black, white, white, green, green, and we'll see if we get some video signal out of this thing. You know, a good just thing in life is just try. You know, you hit something, you hit a snag. I'm pretty pissed off I forgot that connector, but just try and fix it. Take it apart, see how it looks inside. And even if you knew nothing about USB cables, you could have cut both of these apart, looked at these wires knowing nothing, and you could have just tried connecting them and it would have worked. Or you could have got mad and walked away and done nothing. I guess I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's see if this does work. Here's one splice done. And, you know, I got these little wire cutters, but you could use about anything. In a pinch, you could use your teeth. I wouldn't recommend it. But it reminded me, I started using a toenail clipper when I was a kid. That's how I first stripped wires. It's not a terrible way to do it, but just make sure you don't damage the wire as you're stripping the insulation off. Twist them together and then cover them with some electrical tape. Okay, we got it all put together, and I just want to remind you, you don't actually need the tape. It just keeps the wires from touching each other. You could have left them all like this. I put the tape on because I have it, and I'm also going to tape this wire out of the way, the injection port. And then we're going to do some shooting. With the 5.56, I was just kind of blasting rounds because the rear camera became misaligned with the scope, and I couldn't really see where I was shooting exactly. So I decided to just move to the 308, and we're actually going to try and dial this thing in, assuming everything works. But for now, let's test this electrical fix and see where we can go from there. Oh, that's a kick in the dick. I was getting out my 308 ammo, and I found the cable. Guess it just shows you it's better to be organized than clever. Anyways, let's hope this fix worked. Otherwise, I might actually get a little frustrated at myself for doing that. Oh, moment of truth. Very good. We got camera. The other camera was a little misaligned, and so is this one. You can kind of imagine as I'm setting this up, you know, this is not a great system, so I'm going to twist it a little to the left. Nope. Twist it a little to the right. You know, you can already tell this is gonna cause you problems. Oh, that's not good. What happened? Oh boy. Okay, first shot ever with the 308. I did have a loose connector on the stepper motor, so I had to fix that, troubleshoot that. Not sure why that happened, but let's see what happens with the 308. You can see what I'm seeing through the scope here. I haven't even sighted this in, so let's see. Woo! All right, let's try that again. Sorry, it's kind of hard to film that screen. It's gonna line up. There we go. We blew it off the screen. Okay, I'm gonna move around just a little bit so you can kind of get a feel for how adjustable this thing is. So I'm just using the arrow keys. Oops. Okay, we're armed. Oofta. Wow. So that shock is resetting our connection. So this thing cannot handle the recoil of that 308. What in the hell? It's like shutting down the Python program, but the Raspberry Pi keeps running. What a weird failure mode. That is so crazy. I gotta see that again. We're up and running. I put a fresh target on there. I think I have this thing pretty close to zeroed. And we're just gonna try 3 shots and see if we can see how we group with this thing. Okay, we've got to readjust. And it didn't fire. Ah, my magazine isn't in all the way. Damn it. Oh, there's something sticking on that magazine. But let's try. The mag isn't inserting all the way. I might just be trying to insert it from a funny angle. Okay, interlock off. There, we had that failure again, where Python just shuts down. So what I'm wondering is if it's something hitting the camera here. I don't know. But yeah, what the hell? Got some weird stuff going on. Yeah, the mag isn't, I don't know, something's weird with the mag where the rifle's just not cycling. And then I'm wondering if the rounds are like actually hitting this cable as they eject, or doing something, and that's screwing up the camera feed and shutting down Python. That's something we can test back in the lab. But the computer's fine. You can boot right back up. But it really just seems to shut down the Python program. Very weird. Did not expect this kind of problem. Anyways, let's fire the final round in this group. See how we grouped. Okay, yeah, connection timeout, blah, blah, blah. Firewall. Oh, God, this seems like a Windows firewall problem. Fucking Windows. Okay, yeah, we can solve this. Yeah, so, I don't know what it is, but just, literally resetting the router. So, let's try the final grouping shot. Interesting. Python just shuts down. But the Raspberry Pi is still running. And I can't open this program. Huh. Okay, now it opens. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, turret's still working fine. So this has nothing to do with microcontrollers, power supply. This is something, I'm guessing the big thing that changed is the camera splice. So I'm gonna go wiggle the camera splice and see if it shuts down Python. No? Okay, mystery for another day. Well, let's see how this thing grouped. Oh boy, that's horrible. We have a serious issue with the overall stiffness of the setup. So it's kind of like limp wristing shots is what it looks like. This is a big problem. This is not good. Oh boy. And it's embarrassing to leave a target like this at a range. Like, the next guy just knows you're a dumbass. have about a 2-inch group there. The x-axis is just noticeably spread out. So that does give some clues as to what might be going on here. Okay, so let's look at what could be going on here. It could be this nut is loose, so I can check that. It could be that we have a giant scope mounted way out at the end of this guard here. Maybe that just fundamentally doesn't work. Usually scopes are mounted back on the actual frame so they don't move relative to the barrel. And this is just floating. I don't know. Maybe the camera's getting jostled around. And then the final thing is, it could be the whole backlash mechanism. So you see there's quite a bit of slop here, and quite a bit of slop left to right. And it always returns to 0, but it's relying on these springs. And that was good enough for 300 Blackout. Maybe it's just not good enough for a 308. Maybe as this thing fires, it's, you know, kind of limp wristing the shot. That seems pretty plausible. It could be that the, you know, the whole gun needs to be shifted over a 1/4 inch or something, which you can do by basically drilling another set of holes here and shifting the whole gun to the left. So it's not too big of a deal to do that. I could take a look at that. Other things, I don't know. I mean, it is just kind of sloppy left to right. Maybe I need to try the other method of backlash integration that I had thought of before, using a small motor to provide the bias torque. It could be that these gearboxes will just never be usable. Maybe I'll have to go to a low backlash, more expensive gearbox. I don't know. There's quite a few things to explore here. Out in the field is not really a great place to do that. I can't really think of any more tests I would do to run down the source of this. I mean, this joint feels pretty tight. This might, oh my God, motherfucker. Oh my God. God dang it. So it's this little piece of pick rail on here. That's, oh yeah, it goes up and down a little bit and left to right a lot of bit. Let's try and fix that. Dang. Oh, I'm glad I found that right now. Guys, I didn't have the right Allen wrench, but if there's a hero today, it's this toolbox. There might just be an Allen key that works here. It's not going to be pretty, but we'll see if it'll work. Yeah, this scope ring was also just hand tight. What kind of monkey put this thing together? I wish I had employees so I could chew some ass right now, but it's just me. It is just me, guys. Oh, okay, good day and bad day. I just need a moment here. Okay, 2 sets of Allen keys, both metric, and a T25, but the T25 kind of did the job. I also found the hammer. You better work. I will get out the hammer, so work. All right, last try. We'll see. I didn't even resight the scope. We're just gonna try and shoot 3 more shots. Damn it. Damn. Okay. News, still not great news. These are the final 3 shots, so I think we solved a big part of the problem. I'm not sure how much of the remaining problem is due to what factor. It could be that I couldn't screw that scope pick rail on very well with the wrong Allen key. It could be some fundamental flaw in the system, but you know, unfortunately, we're still at a like 2.5-inch group at about 75 yards, which is fucking terrible. So we fixed the big problem. Still have probably some little problems, but hey, we're getting there. And yeah, I've got one more gun I want to shoot just to do a little shock impact on the system. After seeing that group, let's see. Oh yeah. Okay, that gives me hope. I don't know if you can see it, but I just wasn't able to get this rail down tight, and there's a lot of slop there. A little slop up to down. Yeah, so I just wasn't able to tighten this front Allen key all the way, or Allen head bolt. So I think we might be okay. I mean, I'm really thinking about like filing down one of these Allen keys to fit, but I'm just gonna call it for the day. I'm gonna hook up one more gun here, but I think that's good news. I think it's good that this pick rail is just loose on here, because yeah, that's very loose. Okay. There's one gun I've been dying to shoot on this thing. I've only shot this thing myself like 3 or 4 times. So I'm gonna just take one shot and then we'll slap it on the Sentry and see what happens. I love mug root beer. I didn't want to bring actual beer up here to shoot out of this, but I'd rather shoot a Bud Light out of this thing than this good mug root beer. This was just cheap and I knew I'd drink the stuff I don't shoot up. I'm sorry, mug root beer. I love this product. I hope you understand what brought me to this position where I have to shoot one out of a cannon. No offense intended. Oh, that thing kicks pretty good. I don't know. I couldn't get it down the barrel all the way. Huh. All right, let's try it on the Sentry. Like I was being careless. Yeah, those cans just won't go in there any further. All right, let's try and get... Ah! The gun fell over. Yeah, sometimes I scream like a girl, all right? Okay, let's just see how this thing handles the recoil here. Oh, you have to do the thing. Dude, not bad. Not bad. That was kind of fun. I want to do another. God, I'm sorry, mug root beer. Oh, so close. What a mess. Look at the carnage. Oh, we didn't even shoot the pistol. You know what? It's been a great day. We learned a lot of stuff. We shot the 308. We shot the cannon. We shot the 5.56. We learned things. And we're going to make it better. So we'll just have to do another range day with a fixed scope. Fix the little networking problem. And find out why this thing was sometimes shutting down Python. I think those are the 3 main issues, which is great news because For a little while there, I thought we had a fundamental problem with the anti-backlash system on this thing, but fingers crossed now, it was just those scope attachment. Anyways, it's been tons of fun. Yeah, we'll have to do this again sometime. You know what? Why not just shoot it? It's kind of funny to me, all this hard work, and I rarely actually get to shoot. And you'll probably see here why I don't, or why I do make robot guns. So I'm not much of a shot myself. All right, let's go see how I did. That's all some people do. They buy a gun and they shoot it. Oh yeah, look at that grouping with the 45. I mean, I am pretty much a sniper with that pistol. Maybe I'll stick with the robot guns.